lab in New Mexico. New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham has placed a 30-day ban on legally permitted guns in the name of so-called public health emergency. Local law enforcement and even the state's Democrat Attorney General, they're refusing to enforce this constitutional overreach. And just last night, the governor walked her order back, limiting the ban to public parks and playgrounds. Joining me now to discuss, editor and Second Amendment advocate Cam Edwards. Also with us, former Georgia Congressman and NRA board member Bob Barr. So I'll start off with you, Cam, first. Before the governor walked back her order, Grisham knocked Republicans for supposedly fundraising off of her, tweeting, "I'm still waiting on a thank you note from New Mexico GOP. Way to use my call to action around gun violence as a fundraiser instead of using it as an opportunity for immediate action to save New Mexican lives." She's missing the point that what she did is unconstitutional. And I also want to ask you, do you think she should have been impeached right away to kind of set a precedent so any other governors don't get the stupid idea like this?
Yeah, listen, I don't think she cares that what she's doing is unconstitutional. She's made that pretty clear. Walking back this order, I'm not sure that the New Mexico Constitution or the Second Amendment gives her the unitary authority to say you can't carry a firearm here. And, it's amazing. She says that this is for public safety reasons, right? The crime in Albuquerque has gotten so bad that now apparently people are not allowed to protect their kids at playgrounds and parks. Instead, we have to wait for police who, of course, aren't stationed there on a regular basis, right? This doesn't make any sense. I mean, not only is this flagrantly unconstitutional, it's just stupid from a public safety perspective. As for the impeachment, listen, I think that the process is underway. It's difficult when the legislature is not in session. It's doubly difficult with Democrats in control of both chambers. But it sounds like there are enough Republicans in New Mexico who are intent on making that impeachment process start that I think the governor may be in some trouble here.
Cam, before we get to the congressman, real quick, aren't the majority of gun crimes committed with illegal guns? So why is she going after legal gun owners? Why not put the criminals behind bars?
Yeah, she's even admitted that she doesn't expect criminals are going to follow this order. So, again, I think this is intentional. During the hearing in which her order was granted a temporary restraining order, her attorney actually argued that armed citizens, you can't tell the difference between a good guy with a gun and a bad guy with a gun. That basically every concealed carry holder is a murderer waiting to happen. And the only way to make Albuquerque a safer place, again, is to suspend our constitutional right to keep and bear arms in self-defense. So, no, I think the governor has come out as an outright prohibitionist. I think she's made her intentions clear. She doesn't care about the Second Amendment. She doesn't care about our civil rights. She is engaging in the same type of massive resistance that Southern Democrats did in the 1950s, shutting down public schools rather than integrate.
Absolutely. Now, Congressman, it looks like New Mexico, it could just be the beginning. In California, the state legislature passed a resolution this week calling for a national constitutional convention to restrict the purchase of guns. I also read a story that the cartels, they're funneling all of these illegal weapons across our open border. Do they want Americans to just basically be sitting ducks and let us be killed? I mean, because that's what it seems like is happening, in addition to an assault on the Constitution.
The whole thing is so bizarre, Lydia, that it really defies any rational way to justify or even respond to it. For example, you look at the executive orders that the New Mexico governor signed several days ago. One is based on drug abuse in the state. The other is based on firearms violence by criminals in the New Mexico state and the Albuquerque area. And then you have an action plan by the health secretary in the state that contains all the details on these restrictions. And the governor says, well, it's only for a month, but then you read her executive orders and they say these emergencies are of unlimited duration or unknown duration. So the whole thing is absolutely nonsensical. And the courts need to step in, as I think they will, and nullify all of these executive orders and this so-called action plan. And then you have California jumping on the bandwagon, calling for a constitutional amendment to establish a right to safety or some nonsense. It's not going to happen. And thankfully, we're coming up into an election year, Lydia, and voters in states across the countries will have an opportunity to try and at least rectify some of these mistakes by putting these idiots into office who know nothing about the Second Amendment and don't seem to care about understanding it.
I keep saying this, that the liberal woman will be the downfall of this country. Congressman Barr, Cam Edwards, thank you so much for joining us.